What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter. Today we're going to be going over the third and final preseason game for the Buffalo Bills. This week they are in Chicago to face the Bears on Saturday at 1 o'clock, so another daytime game. Seems they like daytime games a little more than the nighttime games, so we'll see what happens this week. Both teams are 1-1 in the preseason, so I guess sort of a big game, right? Who could have the successful preseason? Let's start talking about the Bills, though. And whew, last week they looked like hot garbage. That was horrible. Let's start with some positives, though. Allen looked good for the most part. I know he had that nice throw to Gabe Davis. Got called back with a penalty, which a lot of penalties we'll get into later. But Allen, for the most part, he looked all right, right? I mean, nothing too concerning there. Kincaid looked good, had a few penalties, but other than that, made some big catches. He looked like an NFL player, and that's what you want to see. He's going to be good this year, so it was good to see him play good. And then Damar Hamlin, right? Goes back home to Pittsburgh. That's where he played his college ball on that field. That's where he's from. And he looked good. I mean, he's making good tackles. I know there was some concern. Oh, Damar Hamlin, he might not be that good of a player. Maybe the hype was just built up around him because of the situation that happened last year. Strictly looking in football terms, he looks really good so far this preseason. So that's good to see, because he's going to be getting some reps this year. So it's good to see him playing good. Mims and Shorter had tutties. I know the Bills didn't score for the longest time in that game, but towards the end, the offense started to go a little bit against the backups. And Mims and Shorter had the touchdowns. I know Shorter, big receiver that we drafted, late round. So we'll see what he turns out to be, but that's nice to see both of them have some success. And then Osiris Torrance on the offensive line, rookie that we drafted early. I mean, he was the best offensive lineman all game. He looked really good. Nothing really stood out too much, but he was just solid, and that's great to see. Again, the rest of the offensive line looked horrible, so that's mainly why he stood out as that guy who didn't look horrible. But it's good to see a rookie looking, really good and ready to go. And then Dane Jackson, he's just been solid this preseason too. I mean, he had that pick the first week, but other than that, I mean, he's just looked solid. He's winning that cornerback 3 battle for me. Elam and Benford haven't really showed the same success, and Dane Jackson's kind of established, right? He's been here a while, so that's good to see from Dane Jackson. But now let's get into the bad. Let's talk about the injuries. Matt Barkley, he's day-to-day with an elbow injury. It doesn't seem too serious, but at first it did look a little serious. Matt Barkley and Kyle Allen, they both played horrible this game. Kyle Allen definitely looked better. Barkley looked just absolutely putrid. So he is injured, but hopefully he gets better. Dawson Knox, who didn't play, he got a little finger injury going into the game. He should be good. He should be, completely cleared. So that's good to see. But now the big hitter, Doyle, big knee injury. He's going to be out for the whole season. I know he's not a starter on that offensive line, but our offensive line looked really bad. And our depth is really bad. So, I know we already signed some guys to fill in, but, you're going to have to sign a big name here, I think, or trade for one, because this offensive line needs some help. Doyle, he's kind of injury prone. I hate to say it. He's been injured quite a few times. You might just, like people said, even after last week, if he got injured, you might just want to redshirt him again, keep him on the sideline, don't make him take up a spot on that roster. But it sucks for him, though. You never want to see a football player go out like that. So, hopefully he heals up good and is ready for next season. But back to that game last week, too many penalties, like I said earlier. They just had penalty after penalty after penalty. It was infuriating to watch. And I know it's preseason, but that cannot carry into the regular season, that's for sure. The D-line had limited pressure. Again, both sides of the ball just not working well. I mean, Pittsburgh scored at ease on their first 2 drives. That D-line just couldn't get in on them. Let's talk about middle linebacker. I think Klein is back in the mix to be a starter because Dotson has not looked great this entire preseason. The defense just looks, kind of chaotic when he's out there. He's not calling the right stuff. Klein's the established guy, right? He's a veteran in the league. McDermott likes veterans, so we'll see what happens there. But now let's switch to the Chicago Bears. First things first, let's talk about their QB situation, right? Because it's fun. Their QB, we all know that who's their starter is, Justin Fields. But let's look at QB2. P.J. Walker, Nathan Peterman, and Tyson Bagnett from D2 Shepherd. you look at these guys, and obviously, as a Buffalo fan, Nathan Peterman stands out at me. Old friend, obviously, he's famous for that horrible 5-interception game against the Chargers. PJ Walker, he's had some success elsewhere. He also had a little bit of success in the NFL last year, so we'll see what happens there. And then that D2 rookie, you never know what he can do. He's looked okay, so we'll see what happens there. Switching to their running backs, obviously Herbert's their running back, number 1. But Robert Burns had a good rushing game last week, so keep an eye on him. And then receiving games, Fountain and Ford had good receiving games in both games, so that's good to see from them. Let's switch to their defense. You might see old friend Tremaine Edmonds, the guy who we could really use at middle linebacker this year. I know I wasn't a huge fan of him, but the fact that we did nothing to replace him, it's not great. So if Tremaine Edmonds starts, again, it's preseason, you never know. Keep an eye on him. It'll be fun to see him in a different uniform, see what he could do with the Bears this season. Switch back to their offense. I just want to talk about DJ Moore for a little bit. I think he's going to have a huge season, so I'm excited to watch him play. I don't know if he's going to start this game, but we'll see there. Rashawn Johnson, running back, he played with Bijan Robinson at Texas. He is on the Chicago Bears too, so definitely keep an eye on him. That backfield at Texas was really fun to watch, so keep an eye on him. He'll probably play this game at running back, so we'll see there. Talk a little bit about special teams. Santos and Gill pretty much have their battles won. I don't really think they have anyone to worry about there. Or I don't think Chicago is going to even bother signing anyone for punter or kicker, so shouldn't have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's pretty much all for the Bears. Again, it's preseason, so I'm not going to talk about Justin Fields and what I think he's going to do because I doubt he plays that much. But I'll make my prediction now. I think the Bills bounce back here in Chicago. Last time they were in Chicago, had a big win in the regular season, and Josh Allen got all those rumors with the. But I think the Bills bounce back here. They like this field. 27-24 Bills. So that's going to do it for my prediction. Thank you guys for watching. If you're still here, please consider subscribing, checking out our Instagram, join our Discord, all that fun stuff. But until next time, until the regular season, it's been fun, and peace out.